The moonless sky cast the dilapidated school in an impenetrable darkness, its skeletal frame a stark silhouette against the void. 4 students, their faces pale with a mix of bravado and fear, crept towards the rusted gate, their phone camera a solitary, wavering eye in the night. Though bone-jarring creak echoed as they pushed the gate open, the sound of decaying metal groaning in protest. Stepping onto the school grounds, they were met with an immediate deafening slam as the gate crashed shut behind them, swallowing the last sliver of moonlight and plunging them into absolute blackness. The air, suddenly cold and heavy, was filled with a disquieting silence, punctuated only by the mournful sigh of the wind and the faintest, almost imagined whispers that seemed to coil around them from the shadows. Inside, the narrow beams of their flashlights sliced through the suffocating darkness, illuminating a scene of utter desolation. The corridors were choked with dust, and the classrooms stood like open tombs. Broken benches lay scattered like fractured bones, and faded children's drawings on the walls seemed to stare back with hollow eyes. Dark, rust-colored handprints, disturbingly like blood, stained the peeling paint. Their every footstep became an amplified, echoing thud in the oppressive silence of the empty halls, a stark reminder of their intrusion. A growing sense of dread began to crawl up their spines as other sounds joined the macabre symphony. The faint, distorted sobs of children, a distant, chilling teacher's voice calling out names from a long-forgotten attendance register, and the sporadic, jarring clang of a school bell that shattered the stillness. The faint scrape of chairs from unseen rooms sent shivers down their spines, and the sound of their own frantic heartbeats and ragged breaths grew louder in their ears. The malevolent presence in the school began to manifest more aggressively. Fleeting black shadows, shaped like small children, darted at the edges of their vision, disappearing the moment they turned to look. The ancient lights in the hallways flickered violently, strobing between blinding light and suffocating blackness, disorienting and terrifying them. The whispers, once faint, now grew louder, more distinct and laced with malice. Sinister, disembodied laughter echoed from the end of the corridor, and they could swear they saw dark shapes crawling across the ceilings, moving with an unnatural fluidity that defied gravity. The air crackled with a hostile energy, the very walls seeming to watch their every move, trapping them in a tightening grip of fear. Driven by a desperate need for answers, they stumbled upon the principal's room, the door ominously ajar. The flashlight beams revealed a scene of pure horror. A thick layer of dust covered everything, but on the large wooden desk, they found a collection of old, disturbing documents. Close-ups revealed unsettling photographs and reports. Scattered among the papers were ritualistic symbols, drawn in what looked like dried blood. As their eyes scanned the horrific artifacts, a stylized, nightmarish flashback sequence tore through their minds. They saw a demonic ritual, the principal at its center, surrounded by terrified children, their innocent faces twisted in agony as a dark ceremony unfolded, sealing their tormented souls within the school's cursed walls. The air filled with the phantom sounds of ominous, distorted chants and the heart-wrenching screams of the children from that terrible past. The spectral energy, now fully awakened, turned its fury upon them. Without warning, an unseen force violently dragged one of the students into a dark classroom, their screams abruptly cut short. Another student froze, their eyes widening in terror before turning a horrifying solid jet black. Their body began to twist grotesquely, contorting into unnatural bone-snapping angles as a guttural growl escaped their lips. From the deepest corners of the rooms, shadowy hands with long skeletal fingers reached out, grasping at the remaining survivors. The scene descended into a chaotic montage of intense, rapid cuts, a visceral assault of piercing screams, and a demonic voice hissing, "Mat Bhago, Yahan Ruk Jao!" The pounding of their hearts became a deafening drumbeat, their ragged breathing punctuated by powerful sudden jump scares that ripped through the chaos. One student, the sole survivor, scrambled to his feet and ran, his mind fractured by terror. He sprinted desperately through the nightmarish corridors, the school itself seeming to twist and change around him. He finally reached the main gate, his only hope for escape, but slammed into an invisible barrier that threw him back onto the dusty ground. The exit was sealed. Slowly, the spectral figures of ghost children materialized from the shadows, forming a silent, menacing circle around him, their eyes empty and cold. A demonic female teacher, her face pale and her smile cruel, appeared directly behind him, her lips almost touching his ear. As the camera zoomed into the terrifying darkness of her form, she whispered with chilling finality, "Class Abhi Khatam nahi hui." Her whisper was immediately followed by a final, piercing, blood-curdling scream that was cut short by an excruciatingly loud, sharp sound effect as the screen plunged into an abrupt, silent black.